Headlines. Rivers residents shun protest. Edo SSG resigns ahead of poll. Federal government terminates Kano Maiduguri road contract. Naira gains 42 naira 88 kobo against dollar. Israeli airstrike kills 100. Adele confirms her engagements. City beat United to win Community Shield. Governors in Nigeria protesters were absent on the streets of Port Harcourt and its environs as the protest wound up on Saturday. Organizers of the protest has said there would be a 1 million man march on Saturday to signal the end of the 10 days of protest against economic hardship. But it was the third day in a row that protesters have refused to come out over fear that the protest would be hijacked by hoodlums. The spokesperson for the State Police Command, Grace Iringekoko, in a statement on Friday night, said anyone protesting outside the two designated areas, the Isiboro Park and the Pleasure Park, both along Aba Road, will be arrested. The operatives of the Rivers State Police Command were in a show of force on Saturday morning, coupled with a huge presence in strategic parts of the state. Meanwhile, on Saturday, several units of policemen moved around the major areas in Port Harcourt in a show of force over the planned 1 million man march protest to signal the end of hunger strike. Newsmen who monitor the situation reports that operatives were seen in patrol vans on the last day of the 10-day hunger protest. ATM gathered that up to about 1 p.m. there was no signal of protest in the city as operatives kept moving around strategic places. When contacted by newsmen, one of the organizers of the protest, Gogo Wellington, said fear of violence erupting during the protest was why they had not shown up in the streets in the last 3 days. Wellington, however, advised the federal government to ensure that the demands of the protesters are addressed to avert agitation in the country. State Division of the Nigerian Army has declared the discovery and demolition of large-scale illicit oil facilities in Rivers State. Over 200,000 liters of illegally refined products were recovered as a military-led operation. The Acting Deputy Director, 6th Division, Army, Public Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma Jonah Danjuma, confirmed that to newsmen that the area where the operation took place is a border between Abia and Rivers States. Danjuma said the intelligence-led operation was conducted by 29th Battalion in conjunction with other security agencies. He said the place was concealed from air reconnaissance as criminals engaged in large-scale economic sabotage without being detected easily. He said the operation led to the successful deactivation of over 13 illegal refining sites with massive dugouts. He said even of the dugouts were filled with over 250 liters of stolen crude, 10,000 liters of illegally refined automotive gas oil, as well as other associated products. Danjuma also confirmed that troops of 2 brigade acting on credible intelligence, intercepted a Toyota bus at Abeapo community along road Ona Eket in Ona local government of Akwa Ibom State. He said the bus was conveying over 20 bags of products suspected to be illegally refined automotive gas oil, estimated to be over 1,000 liters. 3 suspects have been arrested in connection to the crime and are currently being interrogated. He added, the General Officer Commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, Major General Jamal Abdul Salam, commended troops for the successes recorded. Secretary of the Edo State Government, Osaro Dion Ogie, has resigned to pursue his political ambition. Ogie, who tendered his resignation on August 9, 2024, is a running mate to the People's Democratic Party's governorship candidate in the September 21st election. Asuo Igodalo Ogie said his resignation is in conformity with the electoral law, which mandates political appointees who want to contest elections to resign 30 days before the election. Reacting to the resignation, the publisher of Midwest Herald, Orobosa Omo Ojo, described Ogie as a colossus who betrayed Edo State politics and shaped it like no other statesman. Omo Ojo, who was in the cabinet class of 2012 with Ogie under the administration of Adams Oshomole, said the humane, clement and tolerant Ogie bows out of office as secretary to Edo State government after a meritorious service to the state that lasted 2 months, short of 16 years. Also, Kehinde Ekerele, twin brother to former Chief of Staff to Governor Godwin Obaseki, Kehinde Taiwo Ekerele, while congratulating Ogie, described him as a great man who has always operated an open-door policy, both in the office and at home. He was also the Chief of Staff to Shomole in 2008 and later appointed Commissioner for Works from 2012 to 2016 when he became SSG to Obaseki, a position he held until his resignation on Friday, August 9, 2024. Heads of various security outfits in Imo State have met with the Commissioner for Homeland Security, Modestus Osakwe, to devise means of enhancing the security apparatus of the state to ensure adequate public safety. The meeting, which was held at the naval base in Oguta local government area, witnessed the presence of various security representatives, including the Nigerian Army 34 Artillery Brigade, Obinze, Nigerian Air Force, Oguta Naval Base, Nigerian Police, Imo State Command, the Director of the Department of State Security Service, Controller of Immigration, Nigerian Civil Defense, and others. In a press statement issued by the Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Henry Okoye, he was informed that the meeting is anchored on proactive measures to eradicate criminalities and other violent crimes in the state for the economic growth and prosperity of the state. ASP Okoye stated that the meeting provided an opportunity for the security chiefs to carry out a critical analysis of topical issues concerning the peace and safety of the state. Accordingly, joint security operatives were deployed on intelligence-led operations, raids of suspected criminal hideouts, and round-the-clock patrols to clamp down on hoodlums responsible for the recent pockets of attacks in the state. The operatives were mandated to uphold the rule of law and maintain the highest level of alertness while discharging their lawful duties. ASP Okoye further stated that the State Commissioner of Police, CP Aboki Danjuma, used the occasion to admonish residents of the state not to relent in supporting the police and other security agencies in the state by reporting any suspicious movements within their vicinity to the police via 08037 34773600, warning that the use of vehicles with tinted windscreens, unauthorized sirens, and covered or no plate numbers is still enforced, as violations will face several legal consequences. The release further stated that the police commissioner has reaffirmed the command's commitment to collaborating with other security agencies to ensure the maximum safety and security of lives and properties in the state. Governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, has clarified the nagging issues surrounding some deductions in the salaries of some civil servants in the state. Oti made the clarification at the government house, Umahia, on Friday night during his monthly media interaction with newsmen. He said that the government had conducted investigations to respond to the complaints by some civil servants about deductions in their salaries. Oti said that the investigation revealed that the migration from the use of 2018 and 2019 tax rate to the current tax rate in deduction and the taxes from salaries was responsible for the difference. The governor also said that the government had investigated the complaints about salary disparity disparity in some local government areas of the state, and we found that it is not true. Oti also attributed the development to tax deductions using the current rate. He said that the government had evolved a policy that allows the payment of overtime allowance to a civil servant that performs overtime duties based on the request of the government. The governor also spoke on how Abia's shares of the federal government stock of rice was distributed to the people. He said that the government resolved to share the palliative among the poorest of the poor in society and workers in the lowest rung of civil service ladder. Leadership of the People's Democratic Party in Osun State has called on aggrieved members to channel their complaints over the recent concluded local government primary election process for resolution. The call was made by the Osun PDP chairman, Sunday BC, in a statement obtained by newsmen on Saturday. Responding to reports of complaints from some of the aspirants, BC assured those with grievances that all the genuine complaints will be looked into. The Osun PDP chairman also urged members to cultivate the habit of exploring internal mechanisms for the ventilation of their grievances. He said the party leadership will not support injustice in whatever form, hence the initial release of timetable for the primary process, which include appeal even after a winner has emerged at the primary. ATN gathered that some aspirants seeking for tickets as chairmanship and councillorship candidates complained of imposition by the party hierarchy. The primary election was held by the party in preparation for the local government election schedule for February 22nd, 2025. Osun State Internal Revenue Service has said it would begin clamping down on business premises that have failed to fulfill their tax obligations to the government. According to a statement by the information officer of the agency, Oluwaseun Ayeni, obtained on Saturday, the chairman of OIRS, Mr. Adeshola Adewumi, during an awareness campaign held in Oshobo to demand compliance from the business owners, said by Monday the government would seal off defaulting business premises. Adewumi, who was represented at the awareness campaign, gave all tax defaulting businesses in the state another grace to pay up their dues before the clampdown would begin. The OIRS chairman, who was represented by the Director Legal and Enforcement of the agency, Mr. Deji Otuyobi, said the statewide enforcement was due by May. He subsequently advised tax defaulters who had received bills to settle their tax liabilities to avoid interruptions in their operations. Nigerian Bar Association branch has launched a lower market where staple foodstuff and other items are sold at 50% discounts to its members. The foodstuff market, which operated between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. on Saturday at the Ife Babalola Bar Center within the premises of Ekiti State High Court, Ado Ekiti, attracted a large turnout as lawyers from the branch besieged the hub to buy various staple food items. The foodstuff available for sale were gari, rice, beans, vegetable oil, spaghetti, semovita, and vegetable oil, among other things. The discounted prices offered a huge relief to the lawyers, with a measure of gari worth 1,200 naira sold for 500 naira, a measure of rice worth 3,000 sold for 8,500 naira, and a liter of vegetable oil worth 2,400 naira sold for 1,200 naira. A measure of beans worth 3,000 naira also went for 1,500. A kg of semovita worth 2,000 was sold for 1,000. A crate of egg worth 2,500 was sold at 1,250, and spaghetti was sold at 500 naira per one. ATN learned that the market women were the Association Welfare Secretary, Khadija Adeniyi, and the Social Secretary, Emanuela Akinyemi, while Uzodinma Aremu Adetoye, the Financial Secretary, was the payment. The NBA Ado Ekiti branch chairman Barrister Taiwo Omidoyin said the initiative was aimed at cushioning the effects of the high cost of living in the country on his members. He noted that the food market offered members of the branch a 50% discount on food items in view of the persistent hike in the price of commodities. He explained that there was no limit to the value of item members can buy in the food market, and only financial members of the branch were allowed to patronize the food hub. All Progressives Congress in Kano State has called for for an independent investigation into allegation of diversion of federal government-branded palliative rice by Kano state government officials. The chief of staff to the government, Shehu Shagagi, was said to be behind the alleged diversion of the rice, but he has denied the allegation, insisting that the rice found in his Islamic school was purchased with his money, while donated by some people for the feeding of the students. However, the APC chairman in Kano, Alhaji Abdullahi Abbas, said the party is worried by the recurring incidences of diversion of palliatives by the officials of the new Nigerian People's Party government in the state. Abbas called for an independent investigation and prosecution of the culprits, warning that the party would take legal actions against the government if the call is not needed. In a statement released on Saturday, the Kano APC chairman said this recurring negative event has asserted the NNPP government's failure to take necessary action against officials found to be involved in the diversion of the palliatives. Abbas added, in December last year, one Taisu Al-Amin Roba, allegedly working for the secretary to the state government, Bafa Abdullahi Bichi, who was identified as senior special assistant to cabinet office, was arrested over alleged diversion of the state's palliative. He said that the suspect was found repackaging the rice and maize at a warehouse located at Sharada and was subsequently arrested. Abbas pointed out that recently the administration of the President Bola Tinubu sent 70 trucks of fertilizer, seedlings and other inputs for free distribution to farmers in Kano, but the state government claimed the credit as if it procured the product. He alleged that the items were sold to farmers at 5,000 naira per bag. The Kano APC chairman described the action of the NNPP government as a deliberate attempt to rubbish the efforts of the administration of President Bola Tinubu in supporting the people during the trying period. The APC chairman said it was unfortunate that the people are yet to see the impact of Tinubu's efforts in Kano, as evidenced by the level of frustration and expression of anger against the government during the End Bad Governance protest. End Bad Governance protesters have commenced a 1 million man protest in Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Abuja. ATN reports that the protest against high cost of living, which began on August 1st, is expected to end today, August 10th. The organizers had vowed to stage a 1 million man protest in the 36 states and the nation's capital to mark the grand finale of the hunger protest. The protesters, who stormed the streets early hours of Saturday morning, were seen carrying different placards and chanting, "We are hungry." Kaduna State government has resolved that henceforth only protests authorized by the security agents will be permitted to hold in view of the security situation in the state. The discussion followed the view of the present security situation arising from the existing 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. and other issues relating to public safety by the Kaduna State Security Council, headed by Governor Ubas Sani. Based on its review, government said criminal elements disguising themselves as protesters with the intent to generate unrest in the state will no longer be spared. The Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Mr. Samuel Aruwan, gave the warning in a statement issued on Saturday in Kaduna. Aruwan said criminals disguising as protesters will not get chance to unleash terror, loot properties, Kaduna Security Council warns. He said the council recognized the fundamental rights of the citizens to freedom of expression, lawful assembly and other constitutional rights enshrined in the 1999 Constitution as amended. Aruwan said the ugly events of the 1st and 5th August 2024 were clear indicators that criminals were pursuing an agenda to plunge the state into chaos and ready to camouflage their plans with otherwise genuine protests. According to him, processions not verified and cleared by the security agencies therefore remain prohibited in light of the public security considerations highlighted. It was a beehive of socio-economic activities on Saturday as the residents of Kaduna, Kano and Katsina states shunned the 1 million man nation. Newsmen in the 3 states learned that hordes of people were seen busy undertaking their routine public and private activities. It was gathered that markets, motor parks, supermarkets, and other economic activities were going on unfettered, oblivious of the proposed protest. Commercial motorists and motorcycles were also seen busy conveying passengers to and from their various destinations. Security agents were also seen patrolling major streets, protecting critical states and national assets. ATN gathered that in Kano, some of the residents of Kano metropolitan local government areas have expressed their decision not to participate again in any form of protest in the state. In Katsina, the organizers of the protest have complied with the order issued by the police and the state government that banned all forms of protest and unlawful assembly across the state. Suspended chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association, Kogi State Branch, Dr. Baoku Olushola, and 3 ESCO members have been impeached from office. The impeachment was contained in a report adopted on Saturday by members of the association during the ongoing 2024 NMA Kogi Annual General Meeting holding in Lokoja. The impeached NMA chairman, Dr. Baoku Olushola, and 3 other executive members were accused of gross misconduct and abuse of office. Representing the report, the chairman, Kogi State NMA Disciplinary Committee, Dr. Austin Ojotule, said the State Disciplinary Committee observed refusal of the suspended chairman, treasurer, director of social welfare, and financial secretary to defend themselves despite ample opportunity given to them. The Kogi State NMA Disciplinary Committee in its report recommended the impeachment of the suspended chairman and 3 other suspended executive members, with effect from the dates they were suspended. ATN gathered that 72 members of NMA Kogi branch voted for the impeachment of Dr. Baoku Olushola and the 3 other executive members in the state during a voting session with 80 medical doctors in attendance. Plateau State government has once again relaxed the curfew earlier imposed on Jos Bukuru. This followed the improvement of the security situation in the area as well as the conduct of residents. Disclosing these in a statement on Saturday, the Director of Press and Public Affairs, Giang Bere, said the government action takes effect from Saturday, August 10, 2024. He stated that residents are now permitted to carry out their lawful activities between the hours of 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. daily until further notice. According to the statement, Governor Mufwang extended his gratitude to citizens for their steadfast patriotism and cooperation during these challenging times. The governor also thanked security personnel for their dedication and commitment to enforcing the curfew and urged residents to continue working closely with security agencies to ensure the safety of lives and property, as well as contribute to the ongoing efforts to build a united and prosperous state. Nigerian Army said troops of 6th Brigade have apprehended 7 suspected terrorists and recovered a cache of weapons in separate operations conducted in Taraba State. Captain Olubunde Oni, Acting Assistant Director, 6th Brigade Army Public Relations, disclosed these in a statement on Saturday. According to the statement, a suspected bandit, Yusuf Musa, was arrested with 1 AK-47 rifle and 20 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition. The statement added that 18 cows were recovered and handed over to the rightful owners. The statement added, similarly, on 6 August 2024, troops received credible information on suspected bandits en route to Mashingi village market in Karim Lamibo local government area to purchase food items. According to the statement, the troops also recovered 1 motorcycle, 4 mobile phones, and the sum of 57,000 naira from the suspect. The statement noted that on 9 August 2024, following a tip-off from a credible source on suspects gathering and preparing large numbers of machete suspected to be distributed to hoodlums of criminal activities with a plan to cause unrest within the state, troops swiftly mobilized to the general area of Magami in Jalingo local government area, where 2 suspects, Umar Ziba and Issa Abdullahi, were arrested with 436 machetes. The commander, 6th Brigade, Brigadier General Kingsley Chidebere Uwa, commended the troops for their dedication and swift action in ensuring the safety of the people of Taraba State. Chief of the Air Staff, Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has said Nigeria's democratic institution values and principles are the foundation upon the nation is built, and it remains a constitutional responsibility of the Nigerian Air Force and sister services to protect and strengthen them. Edo Gwabwet, F. Vice Marshal Director of Public Relations and Information Nigerian Air Force, in a statement said the CAS made the comments in Gombe while interfacing with the state governor, His Excellency Mohammed Inuwa Yahaya. Air Marshal Abubakar noted that though the burden of security rests squarely on shoulders of state governors, they are nonetheless assured of the support of the armed forces and other security agencies as willing partners in ensuring that the freedom and rights of all Nigerians as enshrined in the Constitution are upheld. Speaking on the want on destruction of lives and properties during the recent protests in Gombe State, Air Marshal Abubakar stated that realizing the protest was hijacked by unscrupulous elements, the need for extra security measures became necessary. Responding, Governor Yahaya noted that though these were trying times for the nation, the commitment of NAF and other security agencies in subduing the various security challenges has made sure citizens can go about their livelihoods without much threat. He commended the NAF 109 Combat Recognizance Group for their swift reaction in quelling the recent cases of looting and theft that accompanied the last civil protest. The governor then assured the CAS of his government's commitment to assist in providing some infrastructure to the 109 CRG to enable the unit to function effectively. You're watching the Global News and Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human
on the point of order.
Honorable
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back. This is Global News and Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Federal government has terminated the contract for Section 1 of the Kano-Maiduguri Road project due to prolonged delays. The decision was announced by the Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, in a statement on Saturday issued by his special advisor on media, Uchenna Orji. The contract awarded to Dandata and Selway Limited in 2007 has faced repeated setbacks, leading the minister to describe it as the effluxion of time. The termination of the contract comes amidst concerns over the delayed delivery of critical infrastructure projects across the country. According to the statement, Umahi expressed dissatisfaction with the pace of work on the project, emphasizing the impact of the delays on road users. The termination of the contract for Section 1 follows a series of evaluation and reviews by the Ministry of Works, which has been actively monitoring the progress of various road projects under its jurisdiction. The Kano-Maiduguri Road is a critical artery in Nigeria's transport network linking major cities in the north, and any delays in its completion have significant economic and social repercussions. In addition to the termination, the minister announced that the technical team has been dispatched to assess a separate section of the Kano-Maiduguri Road within Bauchi State, which was recently cut off by flooding. The minister also reviewed plans to hold the original contractor, Mothercare Limited, accountable for the failure of the road to withstand the flood, despite its recent completion. The minister also highlighted the progress made on various other road projects funded under the Road Infrastructure Development and Refurbishment Investment Tax Credit Scheme. The minister met with representatives from Dangote Group, BUA Group, and Mainstream Energy Solution Limited to review the status of ongoing projects. Umahi stressed the importance of ensuring durability and value for money, stating that the liability period for all federal government projects. Minister of Environment Balarabi Lawal revealed that only 1 in 10,000 in Nigeria currently use clean energy sources and technologies for cooking. This alarming statistics underscores a broader silent energy crisis in the country, according to the minister. In a press statement released on Saturday and signed by the ministry's head of press and public relations, Ibrahim Haruna, Lawal highlighted the dangers of traditional cooking methods such as using firewood, kerosene, and charcoal. He noted that these practices not only claim lives and contribute to deforestation, but also exacerbate climate change and impose significant burdens on women. Lawal also emphasized the potential economic impact of implementing the National Clean Cooking Policy of Nigeria, which was approved by the Federal Executive Council on March 25, 2024. He noted that the policy could create around 10 billion direct jobs for youth, particularly in the production and distribution of clean cooking stoves and briquettes using locally sourced raw materials. ATA recalls on 27 May 2022, the ministry inaugurated a National Clean Cooking Committee as part of the process of building the framework for the expansion of clean cooking energy access in Nigeria. The committee developed the draft National Clean Cooking Policy, which was validated to achieve access to clean cooking energy solutions for households and institutions by 2030. The minister said this would enable Nigeria to achieve the nationally determined contribution target, net zero by 2060, the energy transition plan, and a carbon-neutral clean cooking future by the year 2060. He stressed that the ministry has visited major local clean cook stove manufacturing companies in Nigeria for collaboration to scale up the production of clean cooking stoves and briquettes using local raw materials, as well as to train youths in production skills. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has criticized the integrity of Nigeria's leadership, asserting that many public office holders deserve to be behind bars. Obasanjo made this statement in Abeokuta, Ogun State, while hosting 6 members of the House of Representatives who are co-sponsors of a bill proposing a single 6-year term and rotation between the North and South. The delegation was led by Ugo Chinyere, a former chairman of the House Committee on Downstream Petroleum, during their visit to the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library. Obasanjo emphasized the need for a change in the character of those in government, saying, yes, we need to rethink our democracy, but the character of people in government must change. The former president also expressed disappointment that subsequent administrations had failed to build on the foundation he laid during his tenure. Obasanjo concluded by stating that the root problem lies within the people themselves. He said with the same mentality and way of doing things, nothing will change. Business news. Naira gained 42 Naira 88 kobo against the dollar at the foreign exchange on a week-on-week basis amid the central bank's commencement of the retail Dutch auction system. This is according to FMDQ data in the last 7 days. Last week, Friday, August 2nd, 2024, the Naira exchanged at 1,617 Naira 08 kobo against the dollar, but crashed to 1,574 Naira 20 kobo this Friday at the official market. Meanwhile, the Naira remained flat in the week under review at the black market. Last week Friday, the Naira exchanged between 1,600 and 1,605 per dollar. The same rate was recorded this Friday. The gains recorded in Naira are not unconnected with CBN's introduction of RDS in the FX market on Wednesday. The Apex Bank disclosed that it sold $876.26 million to 26 Bank at an 1,495 Naira per dollar rate on Wednesday. The gains in Naira came amid the hunger protests which commenced last week Thursday and affected economic activities in some states in the country. The government of Kwara State has entered into a partnership with a poultry feed and concentrates producer Amobiang Nigeria Limited to enhance local soybean production as part of efforts to address the shortage impacting poultry feed production in Nigeria. A statement from the partners on Saturday, August 10, 2024, stated that the collaboration would tackle the sabotage of soybeans, which had led to increased costs in poultry feed production, as a significant portion of Nigerian soybeans were being exported. Amobiang said it was indicating its support for local farmers by providing essential farming inputs and committing to purchase their soybean harvest. The company explained that the initiative aimed to stimulate local production as its pilot program supplied 300 farmers with inputs to cultivate soybeans on 1,500 hectares in the Kayama local government area of Kwara State, covering 4 communities within the area. Amobiang added that the Kwara State government contributed by allocating tractors to assist farmers with land preparation, enhancing farming efficiency and effectiveness. The group managing director of Amobiang Nigeria Limited, Dr. Ayola Odutan, emphasized the importance of the partnership to address the soybean shortage in Nigeria's poultry industry, impacting feeding production. Oduta noted that the company's partnership was vital for providing farmers with the necessary inputs and ensuring the purchase of their harvest. On his part, the managing director of Amobiang Nigeria Limited, Dr. Ayola Balgore, said the initiative had a broader vision and was committed to expanding its reach to other states beyond Kwara State. The statement stated that the Kwara State Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Oloru Toyosi Thomas, commended the company's efforts and reaffirmed the state government's commitment to supporting the project and local farmers. It said stakeholders, including the Permanent Secretary, Kwara State Ministry of Agriculture, Funke Sokoya, Coordinator of Farmers Group, Shibu Alawaye, and Kwara State Chairman of the Soybeans Growers Association, Solomon Olawoyin, were in attendance. Crisis rocking Nigeria's oil and gas sector is far from over, as Dangote Refinery said it has yet to receive 26 million barrels of crude oil allocation facilitated by the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. The spokesperson of Dangote Group, Anthony Chejina, disclosed this in a statement. The statement was reacting to NUPRC's claim that it facilitated 26 million barrels of crude oil allocation to Dangote Refinery in the first quarter of 2024. NUPRC also announced a plan to review its domestic crude supply obligation regulations 2023. However, Dangote Refinery said it is yet to receive the crude allocation. According to Dangote Refinery, NUPRC has only facilitated the purchase of 1 crude cargo from a domestic producer. The company further urged NUPRC to facilitate the implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act, which accounted for domestic crude obligation. ATL recalls that Aliko Dangote, the President and Chief Executive Officer of Dangote Group, had accused NUPRC of reluctance to implement domestic supply obligations by international oil companies and other refiners in Nigeria. The feud between Dangote Refinery and NUPRC is a testament that all is not well with the country's oil and gas sector, despite President Bola Tinubu's recent directive to Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to sell crude to Dangote Refinery and other local refineries in Nigeria. The directive is yet to be implemented. International tidbits. Not fewer than 100 people have been killed after an Israeli attack on a school in Gaza housing displaced persons. The school, which is located in Gaza City's Daraj neighborhood, was said to have been bombed during morning prayers on Saturday. It was also gathered that women, children, and the elderly were among those killed. A statement by the Israeli military said the school was serving as Hamas headquarters and sheltered terrorists. The statement further reiterated that several steps were taken to reduce the possibility of civilian casualties. Reacting to the attack in the statement, Gaza government media office said the Israeli Occupation Army committed a massacre, stressing that the attack constitutes genocide and ethnic cleansing against Palestinians. Israel has been launching missiles on Gaza since Hamas infiltrated Israeli territory on October 7, 2023. Iran condemned Israeli airstrike on a school in Gaza housing, displacing Palestinians that left dozen dead on Saturday, calling it a war crime. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Nasser Kanani said in a statement that the attack showed once again that Israel does not respect any of the rules and regulations of international law and moral and human principles. He said the strike was a clear example of the simultaneous perpetration of genocide, war crimes and crimes against humanity by Israel. Kanani called for firm action by Muslim and freedom-loving countries around the world to support the Palestinian nation and its legitimate struggles and resistance against the occupation. The Civil Defense Agency in the Gaza Strip, which is controlled by the Palestinian militant group, Hamas, said 93 people were killed in the strike. Israel's military accused Hamas militants of using the building as a command center. United Kingdom has witnessed a dramatic 35% drop in visa application over the past year, following the introduction of stricter immigration policies aimed at reducing the country's intake of foreign nationals. According to official figures released by the Home Office on Thursday, August 8, 2024, the number of visa applications fell from 141,000 to 91,000 after new rules came into effect in January 2024. The policy changes introduced in December 2023 specifically targeted international students, restricting them from bringing dependents unless they were enrolled in postgraduate research courses or government-funded scholarship programs. The move was part of the government's broader effort to curb immigration, which reached a record high of 1.22 million last year. The impact of these restrictions has been particularly pronounced in the education sector. Between Sunday and July 2024, study visa application dropped by 16% compared to the same period in 2023. More significantly, there was an 81% decline in visa application from the dependents of students, reflecting the sharp effects of the new rules. The healthcare sector has also been severely affected, with application for health and care worker visa plummeting by 80% during the same period. This followed a surge in application after care workers were added to the skilled worker visa category in 2022. However, the trend reversed after August 2023, with the number of applications falling to just 22,900 in July 2024. The executive co-chairman of the National Care Association, Nadra Ahmed, expressed concern that many healthcare workers are now opting to relocate to countries with less restrictive immigration policies. Despite these challenges, the UK government remains steadfast in its commitment to controlling immigration, while simultaneously focusing on developing a homegrown workforce to address the nation's shortage of skilled workers. And now, entertainment news. Grammy-winning South African singer Tyler has condemned the bullying of Chidinma Vanessa Onwe Adesina, a Miss South African finalist who recently pulled out from the contest after she attracted scrutiny over her nationality. Adesina, a model of Nigerian and Mozambican heritage, became the center of a nationality role in July after she qualified for the round of 16 of the Miss South African Beauty pageant. She recently withdrew from the competition despite being a top 11 finalist after the South African Department of Home Affairs alleged that her mother may have committed fraud and identity theft. Reacting, Tyler said she was disappointed by the harsh treatment meted at Adesina. She insisted that the model was bullied out of the competition. Meanwhile, Miss Universe Nigeria has invited Chidinma Adesina to join the contest. However, she is yet to react to the invite. Famous British singer Adele has seemingly confirmed her engagement to American boyfriend Rich Paul after 3 years of dating. On August 9th, the 36-year-old singer hinted at her plans to get married during her show in Munich, Germany. In one video from the concert shared to X, formerly Twitter, a fan jokingly proposed to Adele, prompting her to reveal that she's actually already engaged. She then expressed her gratitude to the fan who initially asked to marry her. The Easy on Me singer has previously sparked rumors that she and Paul, who have been dating since 2021, have already tied the knot. In September 2023, Adele was once again proposed to by a fan during her residency at Las Vegas. The Grammy winner politely declined the marriage request as she explained that Paul, who she called her husband, was in the audience. Engagement rumors initially swelled in February 2022 after Adele attended the Brit Award with a diamond ring on her left finger. Months later, the Hello singer shut down speculation in an interview saying, "I'm not engaged." Adele also gushed over her relationship with Paul, noting that she had never been in love like this. Earlier this year, the singer candidly shared her plans to have a family with Paul. Speaking to the crowd at a Las Vegas concert, Adele noted that while she already has her 10-year-old son, Angelo, who she shares with her ex-husband, Simon Konoki, she is ready to have a daughter with Paul. Rapper Travis Scott has been released from custody in Paris without charge. French authorities have said after fighting with his bodyguards, the 33-year-old US star was alleged to have attacked a security guard who attempted to break up the two men at the five-star George V Hotel on Friday morning. Mr. Scott was held in custody for 36 hours before being released by police. French prosecutors confirmed he had been let go and the case had been dropped because the offense had been insufficiently established. On Thursday evening, Mr. Scott's real name, Jacques Bermond Webster, was photographed at Team USA's Olympic basketball match against Serbia. He was pictured next to American businessman Michael Rubin and fellow rapper Quavo, former frontman of hip-hop group Moguls. Earlier this year, Mr. Scott was arrested in Miami in relation to an argument on a private yacht. Showbiz News site has reported that prosecutors dropped a charge of disorderly intoxication against him, but he still faces a count of trespassing. Mr. Scott is a 10-time Grammy Award nominee and one of the biggest hip-hop acts in the world. He was previously in a relationship with Kylie Jenner, and the pair have 2 children together. In 2021, 10 fans died in a crowd surge at his Astroworld Festival in Houston, Texas. He did not face criminal charges over their deaths, but remains involved in civil cases alleging that organizers were at fault. Last year, he scored his first UK #1 album with Utopia, which was released a week after a planned show in front of Egypt's pyramid was cancelled. Here now is ATN Sports News. Manchester City avenged their FA Cup final defeat to Manchester United to lift the Community Shield 7-6 on penalties on Saturday after a 1-1 draw at Wembley. The game exploded into life in the final 10 minutes as Alejandro Garnacho gave United the lead before Bernardo Silva leveled in the 8th and 9th minute. Pep Guardiola men then urged a marathon shootout as Jadon Sancho and Johnny Evans failed to score for United. City have won the Premier League for a record 4 consecutive seasons, but it is the first time in that run that they have won the season opener after defeats to Leicester, Liverpool and Arsenal in the past 3 years. The English champions were severely hampered by the absence of a series of key players due to their late return to pre-seasons after competing at Euro 2024 and the Copa America. Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Eno, has labelled Team Nigeria's performance in the ongoing 2024 Paris Olympic as a disaster. Nigeria's hope for a medal at the Games dimmed on Friday when the 4x400 meters race team despite finishing in second place, was disqualified. The referee ruled against Team Nigeria after one of his members impeded a South African athlete during the changeover. Similarly, sprint icon Toby Amusan failed to make it to the final of the women's 100-meter hurdles as she finished in third place, clocking a time of 12 minutes 55 seconds, which was also not enough to see her qualify as one of the best losers. In a statement on X on Saturday, the minister noted that he would ensure such disappointing performances does not repeat itself. He vowed to ensure that aspirants for the forthcoming Sports Federation elections are thoroughly scrutinized. Odion Igalo has honored his former club, Granada, during their pre-season friendly with Saudi side Al Wida. The game ended 1-1 in regulation time, with Granada winning 5-4 on penalty. Igalo, who is currently on the books of Al Wida, spent the 2009/2010 season on loan at Granada from Serie A club Udinese. The forward returned for another spell in 2011, spending 3 seasons with the Nazaris. The 35-year-old scored 32 goals in 121 appearances across the 2 spells. Igalo also took to the social media to celebrate his return to the club. Udinese have rejected Torino's bid to sign Nigeria goalkeeper Maduka Okoye. According to Italian transfer expert Alfredo Pedula, Udinese are not willing to entertain any offer for the shortstopper. ETA recalled that Okoye was linked to the move to Serie A champions Inter Milan earlier in the summer. The 24-year-old established himself as Udinese's first-choice goalkeeper in the second half of last season. The Sparta Rotterdam goalie joined the Zebras from Watford last summer. Okoye has 3 years remaining on his contract. He was in goal in Udinese's Coppa Italia 4-0 win over Avellino on Friday night. Nigeria Professional Football League champions Enugu Rangers have confirmed a record-breaking sponsorship deal for their sleeve ahead of the upcoming season. In a landmark agreement, Nortra Tractors, a leading agricultural machinery and solutions provider, has become the left sleeve sponsor of Rangers International FC. A statement from Rangers International on Saturday said the sponsorship deal, worth a staggering 100 million naira per season for the next 2 years, will not only provide a crucial support to the club set to compete in the CAF-CL, but also highlights Nortra Tractors' dedication to empowering communities and driving progress within the agricultural sector. Following the agreement, Nortra Tractors' logo will proudly be displayed on the left sleeve of the Rangers jersey as they embark on a new journey of success, both on and off the pitch. Tottenham boasted their attacking points for the new Premier League season with the signing of striker Dominic Solanke from Bournemouth in a deal that could reach £65 million. The 26-year-old has signed a 6-year contract and will cost an initial £55 million with a further £10 million in addition. Solanke, who began his career at Chelsea and also had a short spell at Liverpool, arrived at Bournemouth in 2019 and enjoyed his best goal-scoring season in 2023/2024 with 19 Premier League goals. He is expected to be present for Saturday's friendly with Bayern Munich at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. If Tottenham end up paying the full fee, Solanke will become their record signing. Spurs resisted the temptation to sign the striker 12 months ago when Harry Kane departed from Bayern Munich. Solanke will now hope for fire Ange Postecoglou's men back into the Champions League after they finished 5th in the Premier League last season. Bournemouth owner Bill Foley had confirmed earlier this summer that Solanke's contracts include a release clause in the region of £65 million, and his exit is a club record sale, bettering the £40 million they received for Nathan Ake from Manchester City in 2020. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. Rivers resident shuns protest. Edo SSG resigns ahead of poll. Federal government terminates Kanu Meduguri road contract. Nigeria against 42 Naira 88 kobo against Naira. Israeli airstrike kills 100. Adele confirms her engagement. City beat United to win Community Shield. I am Wendy Aguma. Thank you for watching and good evening.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.